Good morning and welcome to ThePrint. Today we have with us Mr. Atul Karwal, who is the Director General of NDRF, the National Disaster Response Force of India, which is at the forefront of all disasters. And this time the teams have gone to Turkey, where a massive earthquake had hit and over 5,000 people have lost their lives and the death toll is still mounting. Today we will talk about the relief, the rescue operations that are on in Turkey by the teams that have gone to India. Welcome to ThePrint, sir.
Thank you.
So we'll start the conversation with this initiative that India has taken of sending out teams for rescue relief operations in Turkey. If you could tell us something more about this operation, how many men have gone, and what sort of operation is it?
As soon as the news reached India, Honorable Prime Minister had pledged full support to Turkey in this time of crisis. Immediately, meetings were held in the Prime Minister's office, and all the forces, all the organizations, departments were put in touch with each other. And the first team of NDRF left at 0300 hours yesterday, which reached at about 11 o'clock Indian Standard Time. They reached Adana. That team comprised of 51 rescuers, including 5 lady rescuers and a small canine complement. And we also sent some vehicles because we understood that the local administration might be under stress to provide us any kind of a transportation. Plus, these teams go prepared for a 15-day full self-sufficiency plan so that we carry our tentage, we carry our rations, so that local administration, which is already under stress, is not stressed out more to take care of us. So that team got deployed from 11 o'clock. They were sent to a place called Gaziantep, which is towards the east of Adana Airport, 300 kilometers away. And they are operating in that area.
Which, if I'm not wrong, was also the epicenter.
Yes, epicenter was very close to that. So that's one of the worst affected areas. And then the second team, which left later, reached yesterday at before 9 o'clock, about 8:57 in the evening. And they had to be diverted to Urfa Airport because Adana Airport was crowded and they didn't have a slot for us. But that's Urfa is again closer to the affected area. So second team comprises of 50 rescuers, along with a canine complement, 4 vehicles, and as I mentioned, tentage and rations.
Right.
So they're going to meet up in Gaziantep now, and they have been allotted areas where they need to operate. It's basically a urban search and rescue operation where the collapsed buildings are allotted to teams which have come from all over the world to assist in the rescue operations. And our job is to find live victims with the help of technology that we have carried and the sniffer dogs that we have taken with us, who are trained to sniff out live victims under the rubble and try and extricate as many people alive from those collapsed buildings as possible.
Right. So if you could give our viewers an insight into what are these equipments really and how difficult are these operations to carry out?
The equipments comprise of technology like life detectors, etc., which can detect the tiniest of sounds inside a collapsed building. Could be a scratching sound, somebody asking for help, even a heartbeat. And based on that triangulation, with the sniffer dogs, we try and find the exact location from where the sound is coming. We have cameras which can be sent inside so that we locate the live victim and then we dig in a very, very focused manner to get that person out. Conditions are harsh. It's very cold. It's been raining and snowing. The tremors are still being felt. So yesterday, the teams which are operating, they had to plan for their own safety because they were inside the buildings and the buildings were still shaking with the aftershocks of the earthquake. So conditions are harsh, but the teams are designed and trained to operate non-stop in low light or no light conditions. They carry their own gensets, their own lighting. So they are competent to handle a situation where there could be zero facility for them.
Are you getting constant updates also from them about the operation? How is it going? What are they doing there?
Yes, we are getting. They are carrying satellite phones because the mobile phone network is a little sketchy right now in some places. We get coverage sometimes, we don't get. As per the information, they have asked for a third team, which is being mobilized now. Okay. That team will leave from the battalion at Varanasi. They'll reach Hindan today, and by today afternoon, they will also be airborne by the Indian Air Force planes.
So what is your sense of the situation on the ground currently?
It's widespread devastation. We have been seeing videos online. about 450 square kilometers of the terrain is affected. And the death toll, as you just mentioned in your opening remarks, has gone up. So I think that it is a very, very difficult situation for Turkey, and India is here to help in any manner whatsoever.
Right.
So number of teams which are being sent depend on the requirement projected by the government of Turkey, and we are prepared with more teams in case they ask for more.
So are these men from India who have gone there trained for such operations abroad?
Yes, we have had experience earlier in operating in international disaster situations. We went to the triple disaster in Japan in 2011. We went to the Nepal earthquake in 2015. We also went to Bhutan for a short assistance a few years back. So NDRF is equipped to operate in international arena and interoperate with other teams which could be helping out in a situation like this.
Okay. So there is a special training for this. Is there a certification?
As soon as people join us, it's a pure deputation force. So people join us for 7 years. And as soon as they join, there's a 19 weeks basic first responder course, which includes medical first responder course for everybody. So all of my people are authorized and trained to provide first aid. On top of that, we do specialized courses for CSSR, as we call it, collapse structure search and rescue, for CBR and disasters, for mountain rescue, for rope work, etc. So these teams also, they are carrying not just the implements which are required to detect life and cut into concrete and metal and go inside with chipping hammers, drills and saws, etc. But they're also carrying CBR and equipment because in enclosed spaces, there could be gas leakage, there could be some other chemical which has got released. So they are prepared for any and every eventuality.
Right. So you also mentioned that 2 canines are assisting the teams. Could you tell us something about the 2 dogs?
Yes, there are 4 dogs in total. I mean, 2 in each of the teams. So now there'll be 6 when the third team gets mobilized. They are specifically trained to guide the rescuers about a live victim under the rubble. So we do demos, we do exercises where the dogs actually take the rescues to the exact spot and they point out that this is where you need to get inside. There is somebody down there. So they are extremely useful. Conditions are harsh for them. So we will take good care of the dogs there so that they are able to operate effectively.
Sir, has any assistance been also sent on the Syrian side? Because a lot of damage has also been done on that side. We were reading reports on how death toll is rising there as well. So are there any rescue teams that will be operating in that side of the border?
As per my information, Syria till now has not asked for rescue teams. We are guided by the requirement they project, but they had asked for a load of medicines and surgical instruments and things like that, which have been sent to Damascus. A plane load of that has gone.
Okay, so no team as of from NDRF has gone on that side?
No, unless they ask, it would be inappropriate. They know their situation best.
Right.
They would know what do they need exactly.
Right. So, sir, how long will this operation last? I mean, is there any, or is the situation so bad that you really don't know? Like you said initially that it's a 15-day window, but then can you put a timeline to it?
15 days, I mentioned that for 15 days, we don't need any assistance from the local administration. We carry our own rations and stuff like that.
Right.
But we are prepared to operate beyond that. Some support has already come from the local administration in the shape of transport. So we will need things like fuel and food and other such, resources to carry on working. But we can work as long as the Turkish government requires us to work.
Right. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you so much for speaking with us. As Mr. Karwal mentioned that a third team of NDRF will soon be going to Turkey for the relief work, for the search operations that are being conducted, and he's getting constant updates from Turkey. The situation on the ground still remains bad. We are getting reports of how the death toll is rising continuously, but all the relief work is on, and we hope that the situation gets better soon. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.